Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to another Experience Matters show. I'm Shibani Philip and I'm part of the APAC team at QuestionPro. We're going to be talking about something extremely special today. It's an exciting new initiative by QuestionPro for all of the startups out there, as you can see on the screen. I have Prachi with me today. She's heads the commercial business. She heads, marketing for APAC. She's also leading this initiative for QuestionPro. Prachi, thanks. How's it going? Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. I know I've been, at least if anybody's seen my LinkedIn, it's just been Question Pro for startups for a while. So I'm super excited to finally get to talk about it.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I know you've already made quite a bit of progress, so congratulations on that. It is really a great initiative, right? For from what I understand for early stage startups, so it's
Hmm.
it's definitely a good one, beneficial for us, beneficial for them. It's just a
Yep.
great initiative all around.
Yeah. And I
All right,
think,
before we'll yeah, sorry, go
no, go ahead.
ahead.
Before,
No, I
yes,
was
I
saying
think
we'll give
before
it
should
a
happen
minute.
before what I say.
No, I was saying we'll give it a minute.
Yeah.
We've got a few people joining us, but we'll just wait for a bit more. How's it going? How's Delhi?
Oh, well, it's still hot as ever. So, for anybody who's joined this show, I live in one of the hottest cities in India, and it's just, I am really enjoying all the heat right now. We stay indoors as much as we can, but looking forward to the weekend. There's, have some dinners planned. It's my dog's birthday tomorrow, so that's a whole thing.
Ah,
So,
nice.
looking forward to the weekend. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And for
What about
everyone
you?
who's joining the show, I live in Bangalore, which is one of the best cities in India, weather-wise at least.
Weather-wise?
So it's just a constant back and forth between us. But we're having some
Yeah.
great weather here today.
Yes, like
Yeah.
most days.
So it's your dog's birthday that you're celebrating. It's my sister's birthday that we're celebrating over the weekend. So all
Oh,
around
nice.
celebrations happen, right?
Yeah. So I
Awesome.
think mine will
Shall we?
involve a lot of
Mhm.
running around early mornings.
Mine will be the exact opposite. No running around.
That's amazing.
Super. We've
Great.
got some people due. Shall we kick this off?
Yep. We
Great.
shall
Over to you,
start.
Prachi. Yep.
Great. Yep. So, um, like Shibani mentioned, we're going to be talking about this new initiative, Question Pro for startups. Basically, um, a program we have launched to help early stage startups do research, get a lot more insights about the for their companies. But before we get there, just a little bit about Question Pro and how we started off. And this is going to become relevant as I go through my slides. But so we started off in 2005, and we've been bootstrapped and profitable and growing since then. Right. And so being bootstrapped ourselves, I think from right from the get-go we understood the importance of having access to the right data, to the right people, to the right tools, and that's what we kind of want to bring to the startup community as well across the globe, right? So like I said, this program is just simply about empowering early stage startups with access to the right data, and what that really means for us is we did a little bit of research about why is it some of the top reasons that startups fail, or don't make it as far as they had set out to go. And every startup is starting off with a brilliant idea, right? And some of the main things that we found out is cash flow issues, which we can't really do much
Yep.
about as Question Pro. So, but being in the wrong market, that was a
Hmm.
huge reason for why startups were failing. Um, Simply a lack of research. A lot of investors felt
Hmm.
that startups were failing because of a lack of research and really did not understand the market they were in. Ineffective marketing. So you have a brilliant idea, you have a brilliant product, but getting the message out there hasn't been that great, and a lack of industry expertise and bad partnerships as well, right? So, but some of these things, like, and I'm so sorry if you guys can hear a constant background of my dog barking.
Hey, it's her birthday tomorrow. Let her be excited.
Yes,
It's fine.
yes.
No
She,
problem.
she's my coworker who is not invited to most meetings but shows up anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, with that beautiful background noise going on, some of the things like, being in the wrong market or lack of research or ineffective marketing, like these should not be as big a reason as they are right now for startups to fail, and could be very easily overcome just by having access to the right data and doing the right research, right?
Mhm.
So especially, so some of the things that even Shabani and I were talking about before this call is, so a couple, these two use cases that you see almost anywhere. It's, all over the web where you're looking at, like,
Yep.
about startups that really made it eventually.
Yep.
But so one is Odeo,
Mm-hmm.
and this started up in 2005 as a podcast platform, quite early on for the time. They had a brilliant tech. They had a brilliant idea. They figured that this platform was going to be the go-to for all news content, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started off. But turned out that they didn't see the amount of adoption or the users they had anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
It was just not picking up. So they then went and decided, okay, let's go into the market, let's do some research finally and figure out what's really happening. Why aren't we seeing the growth that we initially thought we would? And that's where, they start to find out, okay, who's our competitor. The biggest competitor back then was Apple for podcasts, and they
Yep.
figured, okay, this is too big a mammoth right now. We're not going to win against them, and we don't have enough users, but we have this great tech.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do some research about what are some of the other platforms where people are going to for content, and what are their pain points there. And that's
Yep.
when they start to talk to Facebook users and find out that, what the pain points are there. It's either, the feed is too cluttered, it's not so easy to share content. And that's the feedback they took. They took that data, they pivoted, and then launched Twitter, right?
Yep.
So, and everybody knows about Twitter. So going
Mm-hmm.
from a brand name that nobody knew, having troubles getting users, to being as great and as big as Twitter just because they did the right research and
Yep.
finally got the right product market fit, right?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just, it's so brilliant.
It
Um,
is. And the thing is, for early
yeah,
stage startups, you do expect to have to pivot, right? It is
yeah,
something that's understood that by the time you find your the product market fit, or by the time you find that niche place that you want your company to be in, it's going to take a couple of pivots for you to get there. In all we are going to be doing is helping you arrive at that by giving you the means to do all of your, for even Twitter, you had to do competition analysis, you had to do brand awareness, you had to do, what are your customers even interested in, where are the pain points right now. All of that just comes down to research, right? So yeah,
yeah.
fantastic.
And like you said, like, understandable that you'll have to pivot, but that pivot doesn't really have to happen, way down the line when we're just about running out of
Exactly.
funds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this pivot should happen, right when you know that your market actually needs something else.
Yep.
And actually, if you do all the data, all the research well in advance, you might not even need to pivot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those are for
and
the few lucky ones. Yep.
few lucky ones, I know. I think both. So your husband is currently
Mhm.
running a startup. My husband
Yeah.
ran a startup a while ago as well. So
Yeah.
very close to home, just knowing how much sometimes you need to pivot, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, what that lack of data can do as well. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, and so another brilliant use case was, think, yeah, so they were called Tune In Hook Up, a video
Mm-hmm.
dating platform. So their idea was that they built out this great, content sharing tech, video tech,
Mm-hmm.
and people would come on, share videos of themselves, and they would create matches according to the videos that were coming out. But they never actually ended up getting enough videos shared to make the
Mm-hmm.
right matches, right?
Yeah.
So that was so that's where everything started crashing. So not enough users coming on board, nobody's adopting the tech, right? And then, but they have this great tech that they built out. So then they went back, and did some research about where what are the pain points, right, again, when it comes to video sharing. And they found out that people, so their target market said sharing, finding videos that they wanted was difficult. Sharing
Mm.
videos with people was difficult. Even websites where there are where these videos are available are not as good. They don't find the right quality. So and then they decided to completely do away with the whole video dating, and just made it a really strong video sharing platform, which is now YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's brilliant. YouTube is huge, and this
Yeah.
also came about right when they were about to run out of funds, and they were just about to shut shop. So again, just that's the power of market research, and that's the power of that data that they have, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's not that their initial idea was
Yeah.
not a smart one, was not a brilliant one, was
Hmm.
not new. It was just not the right market fit at that point in
Yeah.
time. And research helped them figure out what is working, what is not working right now, and help
Yeah.
them operate in that space, and made YouTube what YouTube is today. So
I know. I mean,
yeah,
that's absolutely
fantastic.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
all of these things that we've highlighted, right, being in the wrong market or a lack of research and ineffective marketing, it was all of these things for these two companies. Um,
yeah.
and then lastly, this is my absolute favorite. And I think whenever we've been on this show, we've spoken a little bit about it. But this is like, again, PNG in China, right? When they launched their diapers in China, they were already up against a really big home brand. But they figured that people would be automatically drawn to them if they positioned themselves as the cheaper option. They cut down their prices, but then very quickly realized that they weren't actually getting much sales. Mothers were not buying more PNG versus the homegrown brand, um, and because a lot of what they had, the hypotheses that they had were not really tested in the market,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
many years into this fight of will how do we become the brand of diapers that China goes to, they finally did research, interviewed mothers, and found out that what was actually going to resonate with their target audience was messaging about their diapers increasing the amount of time the baby sleeps, and then because they also did research where it showed that babies who sleep longer actually have better cognitive abilities in the future, right?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't about reducing the prices, it wasn't about any of that, it was just simply about um, positioning themselves you know, as a more comfortable
Yeah.
option for the babies,
Yeah,
and that's what
better
people
for
get.
your baby. Yeah, better for your baby in
Yeah.
the long run. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true, and they just completely won the market after that, right? After they changed
Yeah,
their positioning.
big
Yeah,
time. They won the market
fantastic
big
stuff.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And that's a great,
Great.
it's just ineffective marketing because they had been so successful across other countries before that, right? And
Yeah,
just not being able to crack the China market. And it was as simple as doing some research and finding out what is actually going to position us as a wanted brand here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just the power
Yeah.
of research, allowing your
Yeah.
your customers to tell you what they want, right? To tell you what their issues and problems are
Mhm.
right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the times it's also about, I think we already understand the problem enough, but most times we possibly don't.
Hmm.
Right? So
Absolutely.
just, with all these, with these brilliant use cases that we just went through, some of the, main research types that come about, right? That any startup should be running or should look at running right now. We can clearly say this. Product market fit, super
Yeah.
important, right?
Yeah.
So you have a brilliant idea, you probably have the tech already, right? But you should be doing a product market fit analysis to figure out, are you selling to the right market? Are you selling the right thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Are you
And
addressing the needs of all of the people within your target group? Everything kind of
Mhm.
falls into your product market fit. Um, yeah, and especially is pricing analysis super important when you're early stage, right? Where do you price yourself when compared to other people in the market? Are you going to, and it also ties into how you're going to position yourself as a brand itself, right? Is it going to be luxury? Is it going to be, are you going to be fighting for that the lowest price
Mhm.
amongst all of the other brands? What is it that they're looking for depending on your product? Of course, the uh, where you want to play is going to matter, right? Are you going to be positioning yourself? Is it an FMCG product, for example? Is it going to be completely different, right? You can't just leverage other studies that have been done. You'll have to run your own research within your own target group in order for you to get the best output from it. So
Yep,
perfect.
absolutely.
UNA, right? Usage and
Mhm.
attitude. How are you going to know that once it's out there? What is the feedback from your customers? Is your brand growing as much as you're expecting it to grow? What is the feedback post usage? UNA extremely useful, especially when you're putting a new product out there. I mean, competition analysis. We've spoken about this until you know what the other competition. It's not only what the product is that the competition brands are putting out of the market, it's also what is the brand image, right? The brand awareness, what is the imagery of the brand in the customers' minds for your brand when compared to your competition brand. Which is the white space right now, right? Where are all your competition brands playing, and what is that one space that's available for you that you can tap into, and just take over that market? So many things. This is just some examples that that were put together. Um, you can literally, all of this can be run on our product, and
Yeah,
all of this they're going to have access to, right? It's
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
just you can come in there and use it exactly like how you want, run as many surveys as you want. This is just to get you started. We also have templates for a lot of these that you can leverage, but uh,
Mhm.
yeah, we're just helping you get to hear what your customers have to say about you, what your target group has to say about what they need, and getting you set in the right direction.
Yeah. And also, so we're thinking about, really early age startups, or, even when you're still, and you're going to be pitching to investors for a long time, right?
Hmm.
Through your journey. But even going to speak to your investors, going with the data that says, we have this great product, we have this great tech, and, we know it's a pain point and looks like everybody across APAC, for example, is our potential customer or is going to adapt to it. And that could be a much weaker argument than actually going to, with data that says that, based on the research that we've done, 70% of mothers find this to be a significant pain point, and, have shown interest in actually willing to pay for it,
Yep.
pay for it at this cost. Now, that is just so much more of a targeted pitch, even to take to your investors. And it's
Hmm.
really easy to get, just as long as you're using the right tools, you're asking the right questions, and, have
Hmm.
access to the right market, the right people. Um, Everything that you're doing can just be made so much richer.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is just a, I don't think anybody on the screen can see this, but so I'm just going to read it a little bit. This is a very short example of, the sort of data you could get by doing a simple brand research, right? So here we're asking, um, the target audience that if you were to buy a chocolate covered 2-bite caramel that features a smoked sea salt garnish, what
Hmm.
names would be most appealing? We then ask them, we give them a option of 5 different names. And based on the two or three that get the two actually that get the most votes, you run the research again and ask them, out of these two, which are the ones which are the names that you would find more appealing. And here you see, once we've done this, we have a clear winner. So even running something really quick like this for a new product that you're launching, if you're an FMCG company and you're launching a new flavor or something like that, just doing this really quick analysis is giving so much rich data versus just a focus group within employees within the company, right? So yep, just a little tidbit on
Awesome.
that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. And now we talk about the big thing. What do startups get with this program? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So startups get access to our enterprise research survey software, right? So um, you get access to collect up to 5,000 responses on this software. But if you're affiliated with an accelerator or an incubator or a VC or even a startup community, and you come through their partnership, right, or have them apply for you, then you get larger access, right? So you can collect up to 10,000 responses on this same software. And for the first 20 that are signing up this month, we're also running projects, or we're giving them access to 1,000 audience sample per quarter. And what that means is um, every quarter you're going to get access to 1,000 audience from a general population anywhere across the globe to run your research, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we are also going to help you in understand first we understand what is it that you're trying to achieve, quickly help you design about a 10 question 20 question survey, and then launch it out to this audience. Once the data comes in, then hand it over to you to go ahead and do further analysis. So this is first 20 that signed up this month. We're doing more of a hand holding project. We're actually working with you to get this data from your target audience, right? That's
Super useful.
absolutely brilliant.
For
Yeah.
this, can they also, break down? This is the women within the age of 20 to 28,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
That's a target group that they're looking for. Can they break it down that way? Have quotas and split this 1,000 audience that they get for free across these different quotas or the groups cohorts?
So we're going to be reaching out to the general population. All
Mm-hmm.
of these screeners we can put into the
Really?
survey when they're
Mm-hmm.
being launched, and then
Yeah.
you can decide. Okay, I need, for this data to be viable to me, I need at least 150 responses, and until you reach 150 of those screeners, your survey keeps going out.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome. Yep.
And so when we were planning out this initiative, also, one of the main things that we figured, this program would absolutely need, or would just not see its full potential without this, is resources, right? Um, and what these resources mean are just everything that we have as QuestionPro also being accessible to you, right? So we have tons of templates. We've been in the market since 2005. We've run so many research projects with so many companies, and we have a research team in house who has built templates and surveys for different industries. Access to all those templates also goes across to our startup partners,
Mm-hmm.
and not just templates also. So there's also going to be, we're launching a lot of resources in terms of helping you decide, depending on which stage you're in, what sort of research you should be doing, and then what is the process of actually getting it out the door, right? How
Mm-hmm.
the type of how to design your surveys, what sort of analysis to do, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing, and I love this image, community. If you know these people, it's not this community, but but a Discord community where basically it's a closed community only for our startup partners. And of course, we're the moderators. We make sure that we are supporting you on an ongoing basis by sharing different resources. There are going to be various events that we hold across the year, about different topics which are going to help you do better research, access to all of that. And it's also going to help us, by getting feedback from this community in terms of what else in terms of resources could really help you do better research, right? And that's how the program keeps growing from then on.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, live events with our research pros, there are going to be tons of those. This is our head of research featuring on the slide because he's going to have to do a bunch of these for you guys as well. And yeah, I think with all of these resources, I think even if you've never run a research project before, um, this is it's no hassle. Easily
Yeah,
do it.
it's actually, the highlight of the startup program, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yes, you get the platform for free. But like you said, right, most of the time the founders they're not market researchers. They are experts in the product that they are building. So the only thing worse than not running research is running wrong research. So you get
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
skewed in a direction that you're not supposed to be going. Right. So this is
Yeah.
an extremely useful resource that
Mm-hmm.
all of the startups can definitely leverage, so that they're
Yeah.
doing the right research, you're getting the right results, and to set you on the right path. So
Mm-hmm.
this is fantastic.
Yeah. And like you said, difficult information to get your hands on otherwise, because you'll just have so many blogs, so much content online. Uh, it's really hard if you're not a researcher. It's really hard to identify, which is
Hmm.
taking me in the right direction
Hmm.
versus what's not. How am I going to end up doing the wrong research for this? Okay.
Awesome.
And yeah, finally, the who qualifies and how do you apply? So, like we said, this is specifically for our early stage startups.
Hmm.
So, if you are a startup which is less than 36 months old, or
Hmm.
even up to 5 years old, but you are affiliated with an accelerator or an incubator, you qualify for this, right? Why it's up to 5 years with an accelerator or incubators? Because we understand that you might have spent the first couple of years just designing or just building your tech, right? And you've
Hmm.
only come to market very recently. So that's definitely open as well. And if you've raised anywhere less than $10 million since inception, you qualify, and you should be incorporated with a domain name, right? Fairly simple. If you fit this criteria, you know of a startup that fits this criteria and could really do some research, this program is for you and it's for them. And most important, how do you apply? So at the end of the show on the LinkedIn messages, I will post the link to apply here. And you can also just drop me a direct LinkedIn message. You can drop me an email. All of these details will be as a comment under the LinkedIn event.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already got quite a few startups signing up, right? Because it's just
Yes.
it's that useful. So definitely head out there. In case you can't find all of these links to sign up, to just add a comment in this video itself,
Yeah.
and we will reach out to you. It's
Mhm.
that simple.
Yep, I spend 80% of my day on LinkedIn. So whatever you post, I will see.
It's not even
And
an
like Shibani,
exaggeration. That is
yeah,
true.
it's not. And like Shibani mentioned, right, we've already, we've started off with some great accelerator partnerships. A
Yeah.
lot of them in the travel tech space, in fintech, med tech. Um,
Hmm.
a bunch of accelerators that are supporting these industries. We have our early adopters of startups as well, again across SaaS, fintech, and
Hmm.
a bunch of medtech companies. So definitely, and we are going to start announcing these partnerships on our LinkedIn page as well, so you guys can see how they're benefiting from this partnership. And yeah, and look forward to having more of you guys on board.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Prachi, for coming on and walking us through this. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and really looking forward to setting this up for you guys.
Yes.
See you, and
Thank you.
we'll see
Thanks,
you on the
Shubhani.
next Experience Matters show.
Bye.
Bye.